I'm 76 years old, and I want to talk to you about something that nobody thinks about until it's too late. Stairs. Just stairs. Plain, ordinary stairs. You know, when I was your age, and I'm guessing you're somewhere in your 30s or 40s, stairs were invisible to me. I'd run up them two at a time without thinking. I'd carry groceries in one hand while climbing. I'd chase my grandkids up and down without even breathing hard. But about 5 years ago, something shifted. One morning, I woke up and realized my knees hurt. My legs felt heavy. And stairs. Stairs had become the thing I dreaded most about my own house. I'll never forget the day my grandson asked me why I was taking the stairs so slowly. I was 71 then, and he was maybe 8. He said, "Grandpa, are you scared of falling?" And honestly, I was. Not just of falling. I was scared of losing my independence. I was scared that my body was betraying me. I was scared that stairs, those simple, everyday stairs, were going to become the invisible chains that kept me stuck in one room. But here's what I discovered. This wasn't really about stairs at all. Let me take you back to 2015. I was healthy. I worked out sometimes. I felt fine. But my wife, Linda, she started noticing things I was ignoring. She'd say, "You're holding on to the railing more," or "You're stopping to catch your breath." I brushed it off. I told myself it was nothing, just getting older. That's what people do, right? They slow down. They accept it. But Linda didn't accept it. She sat me down one afternoon and said something I'll never forget. She said, "If you don't do something now, you're going to lose the life you love before you lose your life." At the time, I thought she was being dramatic. But she was right. You see, my independence wasn't just about physical ability. It was about freedom. It was about being able to go upstairs to my study and work on my woodworking projects without planning it like a military operation. It was about being able to visit my daughter's house without worrying about the step up into the living room. It was about maintaining the life I'd built instead of slowly being confined to smaller and smaller spaces. That's when I realized something crucial. I was watching my body decline, and I was treating it like a natural disaster, like it was happening to me instead of something I could influence. In 2016, I hired a physical therapist, not because I was injured, just because I was getting old and I wanted to keep climbing stairs. Her name was Sarah, and she was maybe 35. And on our first session, she said something that changed how I see my entire body. She said, "You're not weak because you're old. You're weak because you've stopped using your muscles intentionally." That sentence broke through something in me because she was right. I'd spent 20 years assuming that aging meant decline. Oh, and I'd spent 0 minutes actually fighting against it. She showed me these 5 exercises. Simple things: leg presses, step-ups, squats, calf raises, and something she called stair rehearsal, where I'd practice the exact motion of climbing stairs, working the muscles that matter most. And here's the thing: they weren't hard exercises. They were intentional exercises. They were specifically designed to do one thing: keep me mobile, keep me independent, keep me climbing stairs. Exercise 1, body weight squat. This one's simple: feet shoulder width apart, lower yourself like you're sitting back into a chair. Don't let your knees go past your toes. Stand back up. That's one. But here's what a squat really teaches you. It teaches you that your body still responds when you ask it to. It teaches you that you have power. Oh, I remember doing my first set of 10 squats and feeling so tired I had to sit down. But I also felt something else. I felt like I was fighting back. And that's what aging is, honestly. It's a gradual letting go. Your body wants to preserve energy. It wants to move less, rest more, decline slower. But your squat, your simple squat, is you saying no to that. You're saying, Not yet. I still have things I want to do. Exercise 2, step-ups. You need a step 8 to 12 inches high. You step up with your right leg, bring your left leg up, step down. Repeat. When Sarah first showed me this, I thought it was too simple, too basic. But then she said something I've never forgotten. She said, climbing stairs is just step-ups that don't stop. And that's when I understood. This isn't exercise. This is practice. This is your body learning, remembering, preparing for the actual thing you want to do. Every step up is a conversation between your legs and your brain, where your brain is saying, yes, we still know how to do this. Exercise 3, calf raises. Stand on flat ground. Rise up onto your toes, lower back down. This seems ridiculous, right? Your calves. But here's what I learned. When you climb stairs, your calves are doing so much work. They're pushing you up. They're controlling the descent. They're what keeps you from feeling like your legs are about to give out halfway up. I spent months thinking my legs were the problem. Turns out, my calves were screaming for help, and I wasn't listening. Exercise 4, leg presses or wall sits. If you have access to a gym, leg presses. If not, a wall sit works just as well. Back against a wall, slide down into a chair position. Hold it. Feel your quads burn. This one is about endurance. It's about teaching your muscles that they can work hard and keep working. It's about building the kind of strength that doesn't announce itself in dramatic moments. It's the strength you need at the top of the second flight of stairs, when you're tired and you still have to keep going. Exercise 5, glute bridges. Lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat. Push through your heels and lift your hips toward the ceiling. Your glutes are the largest muscle in your body, and they're what gives you the power to push yourself up. When I started doing these, I realized something. I'd spent my whole life ignoring my glutes. I'd sit at a desk for decades, and my glutes had basically gone to sleep. And now, climbing stairs, my body was asking them to wake up, to remember what they're supposed to do. You know, there's a strange thing that happens when you start doing these exercises. The first week, your legs hurt. The second week, you feel stronger. By the third week, the stairs feel different. But that's not the real change. The real change is that you realize how much of aging is a choice. I'm not saying that if you do these exercises, you'll be 30 again. That's not how life works. But what I am saying is this: so much of what we call getting old is actually us surrendering. It's us deciding that we can't do something, so we don't do it. So we lose the ability to do it, so we really can't do it anymore. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I fell into that trap hard. But once I started climbing stairs again, really climbing them, not shuffling up like I was climbing Mount Everest, something shifted in how I saw myself. I wasn't old. I was someone who still wanted to climb stairs, and I was willing to do the work to make that possible. I started taking the stairs at work instead of the elevator. I started visiting the second floor of my library instead of avoiding it. I started going to my daughter's house and not worrying about those 3 steps up to the living room. I started living like someone who wasn't slowly being confined to smaller spaces. My wife, Linda, noticed it before I did. She said, "You're different." And I was. I wasn't younger. I was just active again, present again, independent again. But here's what I want to tell you, and I want you to really hear this. This isn't really about stairs. It's never been about stairs. I've watched people my age give up on things they loved because their body couldn't do them anymore. I've seen people stop traveling because stairs at hotels scared them. I've seen people decline invitations to their grandchildren's homes because they couldn't handle multiple flights. I've seen people accept a smaller and smaller life because they decided they were too old to fight. And I understand. I do. Aging is hard. Your body changes. You get sore. You get tired. It's easier to surrender than to fight. But the cost of surrender is higher than the cost of 5 simple exercises. The cost of surrender is your independence. It's your freedom. It's your ability to do the things that make you feel alive. And honestly, I think that cost is too high. When I was 50, I thought I had unlimited time. I thought, I'll worry about my health later. At 60, I thought the same thing. At 70, suddenly time felt real. And at 76, I understand something I wish I'd known when I was your age. The investments you make in your body now aren't about vanity. They're not about looking young. They're about maintaining the freedom to live the life you want. I won't lie to you. I have regrets. I regret that I spent 20 years not taking my physical health seriously. I regret that I didn't do these simple exercises when I was 50, when it would have been even easier. But I also have something else. I have redemption, because I could have spent the last 5 years getting weaker. Instead, I spent them getting stronger. I could have accepted the stairs as my enemy. Instead, I accepted them as my challenge. And now, at 76, I can still climb stairs. I can still visit my grandchildren. I can still do the things that matter to me. I'm not invincible. I'm not young, but I'm not surrendering either. That's worth something. Actually, it's worth everything. Listen, I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. What are you surrendering to right now that you could actually fight back against? What have you decided is impossible that's actually just difficult? What part of your life are you slowly losing because you've accepted that you can't maintain it? The answer to those questions matters, because your independence, your freedom, your ability to do the things that make you feel alive, those things are worth 5 simple exercises. They're worth showing up. They're worth the effort. You don't have to wait until you're 76 to understand this. You can understand it now. You can start now. So here's my challenge. Do these 5 exercises for 1 week, just 1 week. Squats, step-ups, calf raises, leg presses or wall sits, glute bridges, 20 minutes, 5 days a week. Then notice how you feel. Or notice how the stairs feel different. Notice how you feel different. Because that feeling, that's you fighting back. That's you choosing to maintain your independence instead of surrendering it. And trust me, that feeling is worth it. If this meant something to you, subscribe. Leave a comment and tell me what part of your life you're ready to fight for. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because we're all getting older. But we don't all have to get smaller.